What's the proper way to do this? Happy Christmas Eve? Merry Christmas Eve? Merry Christmas Eve, I think, is probably correct, right? Mostly because it just kind of sounds and just goes with the theme, but it also sounds a little bit belabored and elongated. But regardless, okay, we are a day before my personal favorite day of the year, Christmas in and of itself, and there is so much news. Normally, Christmas Eve is a pretty tame day, right? And I had everything all planned out, and we're going to get to the SBF stuff in the third video of the day, and the first one out here today. Okay, and like that one was ancient. I think I cut that mid to the end of October. I just had to get it out of the system, okay, because it's like there's so much old stuff that's out there, but then there's so much news that drops today, so it's a bit of a conundrum. I got everything all cut up for tomorrow, and it's all kind of, it's themed appropriately. Here's just a little bit of a spoiler for you, okay, so it'll look a little bit off just in case, but got to try to figure out at least one of the stories I kind of want to touch on very soon, okay? Otherwise, we're just going to have to wait until Monday, okay? But I'm also going to be assembling a computer, so I might be able to try to figure out if we can, get something in there. But waffling aside, okay, here's one of the stories that dropped today that I had to kind of find room for, all right? Because who even knows, right? Because I'm imagining, okay, the way that Elon's working right here, like this dude doesn't see dates on a calendar. All he sees is more hours available to him, and God bless him, okay, because we got the 9th drop of Twitter files, and the way that it reads, it was really instigated by the FBI statement. You guys remember this from a couple of days ago, where the FBI finally caught wind, or finally recognized the Twitter files and thought, that's just all misinformation. Nobody needs to pay attention to that stuff. Even though they were caught red-handed, like Kim.com here, he puts his gimmick on top. When you thought the world couldn't get any crazier, the FBI now claims the words of its own agents in tons of emails revealed by the Twitter files are conspiracy theories and misinformation. We'll go over their statement there that they gave to Fox News. Very strange. I thought Fox News was your friend. They're not your friend. They're not your friend, okay? Especially not Sean Hannity. And he's going to be big butthurt about this because a couple of his favorite agencies, he likes to wear his little pin. Sure, every once in a while it's an American flag. It might even be something to do with a little elephant or something. But he likes to have one that has a little CIA crest on it. A little foreshadowing. But here was, yes, the FBI statement at the time. It is unfortunate that conspiracy theorists and others are feeding the American public misinformation with the sole purpose of attempting to discredit the agencies. Stop throwing rocks at us, you peasants. Just listen to what we have to say. Well, listen to what you have to say. You just not might like the response of us coming to the realization that you might have been feeding us all a lie of fucking horseshit, okay? Because Matt Taibbi earlier today dropped Twitter Files 9, and, well, it implicates the agency even further. And also a couple of other 3-letter agencies, because we already know the other guys who are in play, right? The Department of Homeland Security, the National Director of National Intelligence, DNI, right? I forgot. There's so many little acronyms that are out there, and haven't even got to Fauci yet or anything like that. Even though I think Kyle Rittenhouse is really taking that fucking crusty bitch to the woodshed right now. Hilarious, giving him the old Rosenbaum treatment from afar. Like, holy, I just thought that I'd be dunking on hose here today or something like that, but there's just so much news around here. Anyways, the files show, okay, like I just skipped ahead a little bit. It's just a whole bunch of preamble, and Matt Taibbi just going ahead and sourcing the quote from the FBI right there. Yeah, it didn't refute allegations, instead tried to decry conspiracy theorists and misinformation. So, oh well, you reap what you fucking sow. You get what you fucking deserve. They must think us unambitious. Our sole aim is to discredit the FBI. After all, a whole range of government agencies discredit themselves in the Twitter files. Why stop with one? The files show the FBI acting as a doorman to a vast program of social media surveillance and censorship encompassing agencies across the federal government, from the State Department to the Pentagon to the CIA. Yeah, buddy. We'll come back to this very, very shortly. I just mostly want to get the nice overview, and then we can fill in the gaps, because that motherfucker's like 54 posts long. Holy, we'd be here all day. And taking a look at the sources that I have for the second video, I don't want to pry you away from your family here on, Christmas Eve. After all, I'm sure you guys all have your own traditions. Me personally, I'm going to go spend some time with my family after this, and we're going to watch a bunch of Christmas movies, I think. Christmas Vacation, and probably the original 1964 Grinch. I think that's when it came out. But yeah, no. Enough waffling. We'll get to the point. Mysterious government agencies participated in suppressing Twitter content, according to the Twitter files number 9. Mysterious government agencies were involved in censoring content, along with Twitter Incorporated. Yes, on the social media platform, journalist Matt Taibbi said in the newly released Twitter files. The files, which were mostly internal communications among Twitter executives and employees, show that unspecified agencies worked with Twitter before Elon Musk bought the company. The agencies were usually referred to as other government agencies or OGAs inside Twitter. I wonder if they paid for that same amount of access, or it depends. I would just like to see the pay scale, right? Because we know that $3.5 million was transferred from the feds directly to Twitter for their access, especially during 2020. Found that out, Twitter file 7 or 8. All of it's just fucking hilarious, and that's why they're so butthurt about it. And it's like, oh, it's conspiracy theories. And it's like, okay, cool, whatever, you still bought access, so call it whatever you want. You guys are still fucking corrupt. In one email from June 29th, 2020, FBI San Francisco field office official Elvis Chan. This dude better be in fucking witness protection right now, because holy fuck, all of his shit is getting leaked out. That dude's gonna need some flex tape. Hopefully he gets that in a stocking. Asked Twitter executives if he could invite an OGA to attend an upcoming event. I want to follow up to see if I could forward this invitation to an OGA, he wrote. Okay, so that is number 7. Let's just go to it. Why not? A chief end result was the thousands of official reports flowed from Twitter from all over through the FITF and FBI San Francisco field office. What is FITF? That would be the Foreign Influence Task Force. I think we've heard from them before. So yes, referencing that before. So we got the official. I can go ahead and go full screen on this here for a second. It just says Elvis Chan, supervisory agent. If you don't want to take me at my word, I'll just provide the links for all this stuff anyways. I wanted to know if I could follow up to see if send this forward invitation to an OGA. Specifically, people from the former employer were inquiring. Interesting. Hope all is well. Thanks. Regards, Elvis. From an official government email. God, this guy is really fucking bright, huh? And this was to Stacia or whoever, man. Okay, cool. I guess maybe that's, I don't know why they block that stuff out, but regardless. Okay, we'll go back and make everything all nice and appropriate, right? OGA or other government organization can be a euphemism for CIA, according to multiple former intelligence officials and contractors. Chuckles 1, they think it's mysterious, but it's a bit conspicuous. Yeah, no doubt. Other government agencies. Gee, whatever could you possibly be mentioning? Okay, just throw a bunch of letters into a fucking hat, pull something out. Probably means something like that. OGA briefing can also be frequently seen for the meeting agenda between Twitter and Foreign Influence Task Force. It was put under the Russia status part of the meeting agenda. Wow, imagine that. Whenever the feds, whenever one of those alphabet organizations wants to organize a psyop, it's just always gotta be Russia. That's why they can never fucking change their tune. That's why they just all sound like literal fucking bots. It's all Russian disinformation. Is it really? Can we check the receipts? You're a Putin apologist. Cool. We see the circle. We see the circular logic at play here. Matt Taibbi on number 18. Again, if you guys are just going to reference that, we'll just go right to the source material. I appreciate that. Nice going through on all this. Okay. One of the most common forums was a regular meeting for the multi-agency Foreign Influence Task Force, attended by spates of executives, FBI personnel, and nearly always one or two attendees marked OGAs. Interesting. As you can see here, I think you guys can kind of see, just fuck it. We'll just, it'd be so much nicer if I had like a standing desk or something like that. I just got like a little goofy chair, and I just got my mouse at just about shoulder level. It's close, but I just I just probably program everything. Like I said, I'm getting my regular computer back tomorrow. Hopefully, I can set aside some time for that. But anyways, yeah, you got people from New York, Philly, San Francisco, all checking in with the feds. OGA, you can kind of see it right there, is from Philly. I think that's what PH would stand for, right? Nothing else really comes to mind, okay? But unless there's some insight on that, that's what we'll have to go with. OGAs from CYD, cover your dick. Okay, cool. And then FBI, and then at twitter.com. Okay, cool. Oh, no, that would have been, no, just one name right there. So maybe that's their contact? So what we're looking at here, it's tough to really tell. It really is tough to tell if we're being completely honest. But the the FITF, the fifth meeting agendas virtually always included or near from the beginning an OGA briefing, usually about foreign matters. Hold that thought. All right, I will, Matt. Despite its official remit being foreign influence, the FITF and the San Francisco FBI office became conduits for mountains of domestic moderation requests from state governments, even local police. FBI Minneapolis, what the fuck? Put you in touch with Lieutenant Hoff about some recent activities, which I provided below. Twitter linking out to separate tweets right there. Yes, okay, regards, Elvis. Acting from the FBI through Twitter, using Stacia Cardile. Interesting. We get any more insight on that? It is unclear which agencies OGA was referring to, though Taibbi claimed it would be CIA, citing several persons familiar with the agency. The Epoch Times reached out to the CIA for comments, and then a bunch of guys in a van with some fucking black bags showed up, but thank God our doors were locked. Screenshots of emails shared by Taibbi show various government agencies, including FBI and CIA, participating in meetings with Twitter. Invited FBI, and I believe I already read that. Okay, Stacia Cardile. Okay, cool. We get some insight into this lady, a former attorney for Twitter. Interesting, because the general counsel was Jim Baker, who was formerly with the feds. Wrote an email to Jim Baker. There he is again, about an information operation conference. Baker was general counsel for the feds and a key figure in the Trump-Russia investigation. Yeah, he'd like to suppress all of that shit. Twitter was overwhelmed by requests from various agencies, mostly coordinated by TITF. Nice. And the San Francisco field office of the feds. Taibbi said email after email came from San Francisco office heading into the election, often adorned with an Excel attachment, he wrote. So spreadsheets were shared between the feds and Twitter back and forth. While we're on them, I'm sure we got some screenshots, right? In some cases, Twitter personnel found the flagged post legitimate. From my checks, I cannot find any indicators to suggest the account is Russian. Does it have indicators to suggest it is a Russian proxy? Oh, is somebody using it? Is this one of Putin's puppets that's out there? Can you go ahead and provide any evidence of that? I can brainstorm with, let's just say it has redacted on there, but we all know that's probably Yoel Roth or one of his fucking underlings. And we can see if we can dig deeper and try to find a stronger connection. Again, if we're looking for anybody to try to stretch the truth, your one-stop shop is Yoel Roth. Let's fucking, just call it exactly like we see it. So that's 30. Oh, we jump ahead quite a bit on that one if we're just following along at home. But yeah, a lot of this stuff was, okay, cool, just backing up all this stuff. We got, okay, an email screenshot. That's not terribly interesting. Could you see from below? Yeah, the FITF global unit. What do you think? Okay, so correspondence between Stacia Cardile and Elvis Chan back and forth. And then, yes, okay, different posts from different people. Anything? Edward. I wonder if that's Snowden. That's just the first Edward that comes to mind. And it would be very interesting given the fact that he leaked all of the stuff. He worked for NSA. Yeah, NSA. About how they're tracking all of your movements with cell phones. Very interesting. Very fucking interesting. FBI San Francisco Emergency Operations Center sent us the attached report of 207 tweets they believe to be in violation of our policies. Spreadsheet attached. There we go. And that's from Stacia Cardile to... we don't have anybody. This is just in between different Twitter employees. Okay, interesting. Email after email came from the field office with the spreadsheets. There's all of those references there. San Francisco FBI, yes, of course, we know all of that stuff as well. But what the fuck? Seemed to strike no one as strange that a foreign influence task force was forwarding thousands of mostly domestic reports along with the DHS about the fringest material. Oh, I remember. Oh my God, that was all of those. What's her name? Sydney. She got that fucking gobbledygook neck. That and Lynn Wood, those crazy fucking Q-tards that were running shit. Okay. Oh, this has everything to do with the scorecard and hammer in the presidential election. Oh. Sydney Powell. That's her name. I forgot. She did a good job for General Flynn in his case, but I don't know, man. The fucking crazy shit went right to her head. Foreign meddling had been an ostensible justification for expanded moderation since platforms like Twitter were dragged to the Hill by the Senate in 2017. New York Times tech executives are contrite about election meddling, but make few promises on Capitol Hill. Yes, very interesting. Behind the scenes, Twitter executives struggled against government claims of foreign interference supposedly occurring on their platform and others. Oh, an IRA account on Reddit. That's the least of Reddit's concern. Clean up your fucking groomer problem over there, you weirdos. And then, yeah, that's where we're at. I can understand leaving that stuff out. It was pretty fucking dry. Extremely tenuous circumstantial chance of being related, says another about all of the different, Russian proxy accounts going back and forth. Interesting. No real matches using the info, says former trust and safety chief Yoel Roth. I didn't even know that motherfucker was in there, but of course he was going to get name checked. Like, this dude right here is censor numero uno in all of this stuff. In another case, Roth concludes a series of Venezuelan pro-Maduro accounts, actual fucking communists, are unrelated to Russia's Internet Research Agency. Wait, what? Because they're too high volume. Extremely high okay, cool. So it's all right if you got pro-Venezuelan, pro-Maduro bot accounts, because they're too successful, but Russian bot accounts, he's kind of self-snitching on himself right there, okay? They're either not very prominent at all, or they just get yeeted off the platform. So either the Russian bots are prevalent, okay, and that you need an entire task force to tamp them down, or in your private communications right there, you admit that they're just a non-factor. Very funny thing that you would have a leak out there. Venezuelans were extremely high volume tweeters, pretty uncharacteristic of a lot of other IRA activities. Let's see what else we got, because my article just kind of ends right there. Translation more aggressive. Government partners had closed Twitter window of independence. Other government agencies ended up sharing intelligence through the FBI and FITF, not just with Twitter, but with Yahoo, Twitch. Oh shit, that's the first time they've been name checked, that fucking commie streaming platform. Christ almighty. Cloudflare, LinkedIn, even Wikimedia. So is that the parent company of Wikipedia? I would imagine so. I'm not entirely sure, but that would make sense. Okay, so LinkedIn, Reddit, Facebook, Meta, we already knew. Apple. Interesting. Google, YouTube, okay, so Alphabet, all of that stuff. Other Twitter, of course, Verizon Media, Yahoo, and yes, Wikimedia as well. So they were talking to everybody that has something specifically to do with, okay, yeah, no, that's a foreign influence task force. Okay, that's a memo between them. Former CIA agent and whistleblower John Kiriakou, all right, believes he recognizes the formatting of these reports. So they're from the agency. Ugh. Okay. It looks right to me. Kiriakou says, and noting that what was cut off above the tear line was the originating CIA office and all the copied offices. Oh, okay, cool. Tear line must be... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cut off all the letterheads, so you just go ahead and throw out the relevant information, everybody who needs to know. Many people wonder if the internet platforms receive direction from intelligence agencies about moderation of foreign policy news sources. It appears Twitter did, in some cases by way of the FITF/the FBI. These reports are far more factually controversial than domestic counterparts. One Intel report lists accounts tied to Ukraine and neo-Nazi propaganda. What? No, we support the Ukraine. Hashtag Ukraine. Shut up, bigot. You deserve... Zelensky deserves all of those billions of dollars, and it's totally not an insurrection to have a foreign leader stand at the speaker's podium and demand more from the American people while his country's flag flies behind them. Definitely not the visualization of an insurrection. No, definitely not. No, it couldn't possibly be. This includes assertions that Joe Biden helped orchestrate a coup in 2014 and put his son on the board of Burisma. Well, he didn't necessarily. Okay, him getting rid of a special prosecutor in Ukraine by way of intimidation and through different corrupt means probably led to that happening, but who am I to say, really? Another report asserts a list of accounts using the Biden administration of corruption in vaccine distribution and part of a Russian influence campaign. Huh, wow, literally anything that could be just a little bit too tough for the administration to cover, I had to throw it under Russian disinformation. Vaccines safe and effective, man. You just go ahead and you run those shit out, okay? Often intelligence came in the form of brief reports, followed by a long list of accounts simply deemed to be pro-Maduro, pro-Cuba, pro-Russia, etc. One batch had over 1,000 accounts marked for digital execution. There you can see suspected bot accounts, and yeah, they're all just blacked out right there. And then, okay, one report says the site documenting purported rights abuses committed by Ukrainians. Oh, shit. Okay. That's why everybody was having a tough time, especially earlier this year in, when did that story break? Late March or some shit like that, where there were war crimes being committed against Russian soldiers. It was caught on video and it was shared around out there. It was pretty fucking horrific. I forget all of the details of the story. I just remember that was the dynamic going on. You couldn't show that video out there, mostly because it was horrific, and definitely its distribution got chopped off at the knees. But whenever somebody was saying, oh my god, Putin and his soldiers, they're committing the war crimes, it's like, you got any evidence of that? Shut up, you Putin apologist. It's like, doesn't really fucking make that much sense, right? We assess that the tragedy of Donbass, oh yes, okay, a website documenting the purported human rights abuses committed by the Ukrainians since 2014. Yeah, because the Donbass region wanted to leave Ukraine, and that's kind of the inciting incident of all of the shit happening over there, but that's another story for another time. Intel about the shady origin of these accounts might be true, but so might at least some of the information in them about neo-Nazis, Azov Battalion. We know. Rights abuses in Donbass. See the Azov Battalion in action. No, you're Ukrainian. We need to do blood sacrifices right here. That shit's fucking wild. Even about our own government. Should we block such material? Question mark. No, let it all out, man. Just let everybody assess it and glean that information that from which they want, okay? Like, if you're too stupid to take a look at something, okay, and you want to read something else, you want to view it through a lens, go ahead. You go ahead and do that, okay? The cure for for lying, let's just call it exactly what it is. The cure to a lie or a mistruth are the facts of a situation, okay? Not somebody else telling you the facts, and especially not these corrupt institutions that seem to be paying to play and shaping the thoughts and feelings of different people out there. It's a difficult speech dilemma. Should the government be allowed to try to protect Americans and others from seeing pro-Maduro or anti-Ukrainian accounts? No, let both sides fight it out. And the only way that we're going to come to the truth on this stuff is by engaging these ideas in the debate, in the crucible of open debate. I needed to get that quote correct. Often intel reports are just long lists of newspapers, tweets, YouTube videos guilty of anti-Ukraine narratives. Oh my god, am I on there? Come on, I got to be on there in some form or fashion. Even though, not like I'm, pulling for it or anything like that. None of my Ukraine videos, okay, or anything just referencing that conflict. I think most of them depends on some of the colorful language that I throw in there or not. Most of them get monetized. Like, none of them have been taken down, okay? It all has to do with the jab. And hey, just a little bit of a just a little bit of an update, some more house cleaning stuff. For the other channel, for my secondary channel, where I'm just all nice and squeaky clean with my language, but I've been doing more recently a whole bunch of vaccine side effect videos that's over there. Some of that stuff is incredibly interesting. But I got struck for the 4th time over there, and guess what? At least over on that channel, oh my god, I don't want to jinx it or anything like that, but I've been 4 for 4 on my appeals lately, so mostly had to do with the nice little... I was really happy with the thumbnail that I had. I had the little Brazilian vaccine mascot, and he's really cute. Got like a little teardrop that some people think is like, oh, it's a clan mask, but he also has sus across his chest. It's fucking funny. I liked it. It was like 5 different ways that your body responds to the vaccine. And it wasn't even referencing that vaccine. Like, the bulk of the video itself is just how your body can manifest the different foreign intrusions in there. It's like, it really had nothing to do with anything, but why the fuck would you strike that one? Oh well, it's back on the channel, thank God, okay? And don't worry, it only gets spicier from there. So, if you're interested in all that type of stuff, and you wonder why I don't want to talk about the vaccine on this channel, mostly because I have more strikes against me than the New York Yankees' current home run centric lineup. And I don't need to get colorful with my language when I'm talking about that. It's horrific enough to begin with. But yeah, anyways, back to this. We're just about wrapping up at this point on this one. Like, I know it's only so long on this. Anyways, sometimes, not always, Twitter and YouTube blocked the accounts. But we know for sure what Roth meant by the Bureau, and by extension, the intelligence community. IC, that's what that would mean. In the line between misinformation and distorting propaganda is thin. Are we comfortable with so many companies receiving so many reports from a more aggressive government? No, I don't think so. But that's also runs in a stark contrast to what the current administration definitely wants to do. The CIA has yet to comment on the nature of the relationship to tech companies like Twitter, but is it really a shock to anybody that the CIA was working hand in hand with the social media companies? Like, you would understand. Like, they're probably the most understandable agency, okay, because yes, Twitter, social media, it's a global platform. It's a globalized marketplace of ideas. Theoretically, if there isn't, an invisible hand guiding everything in a certain direction, it's the largest collective consciousness of information we have ever seen in human history that ever could have been thought of beforehand. Before this, it was your encyclopedias that got sent out every year, okay? It was the newspapers, it was telephone calls, okay? Now, everything that you've ever wanted, the collection of information in human history is now but a fingertip, at your fingertips. That's what I meant to say. A keystroke away at your fingertips. Follow me on this. So why wouldn't the Central Intelligence Agency, known for enacting coups in the Middle East for the better part of several decades at this point in time, okay, and maybe some of their funny stuff, I got to take a look at that, okay, because, oh my god, if I hear anybody else talk about, the CIA just admitted to offing JFK and nobody cares about it, maybe there's not a whole lot of information there. Maybe it's just kind of lacking on that. But when it comes to the CIA dabbling with Twitter in order to spy on everybody and to shape a narrative, yeah, man, that's less surprising than the sun coming up in the morning. So nice that it's on record right there. I just wonder if they're going to be issuing an equally snippy response to Fox to read off to everybody. And then Sean Hannity can be like, you fucking Baghdad Bob. Don't worry, nothing around here to see. Fuck that guy. But we got some other corrupt shit to talk about here in about 35-40 minutes time, depending on how long the video is. I haven't even fucking recorded the motherfucker yet, but we'll talk SBF, we'll talk about the people that flipped on him, and we'll talk about his current situation right now, because he'll be snug as a bug in a rug over on the West Coast with his family. Well, lesser criminals rot away in a cell. It's fucking wild, dude. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.